Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon. Tamra judge bashed for inserting herself in RHUGT drama involving Brandi Glanville. Another day, another reason for Tamra Judge to get dragged on social media. And this time, it's not about her behavior on the Real Housewives of Orange County. The outspoken Bravo star has inserted herself in the Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip drama. The controversial season of the spin-off show might never see the light of day due to the mess involving cast members Brandi Glanville and Caroline Manzo. Caroline accused the RHUGT alum of inappropriate behavior towards her, an accusation Brandi has vehemently denied. Vicki Gunvalson, who also filmed the show in Morocco with the feuding duo, recently chimed in, seemingly co-signing Brandi's version of events. Tamra has now jumped into the ring claiming that Vicki told her a different story about Brandi and Caroline, and even sent her a photo while the incident was playing out. However, Tamra is getting dragged online for commenting on the incident, seemingly in an attempt to undermine Vicki. RHUGT's Tamra Judge shares information about Caroline Manzo and Brandi Glanville. The RHUGT star chimed in on the RHUGT drama while at the TWT's main event. Tamra was on stage with her podcast co-host Teddy Mellencamp and special guest Heather Dubrow and seemingly answered a question from the audience about the situation. "I was sent a picture from Vicki Gunvalson from Morocco," Tamra exclaimed. "Brandi was on top of Caroline and Caroline was trying to push her off." Tamra reenacted Caroline's stance in the photo, leaning backward in her chair with both hands stretched forward. "Her hands were like this and pushing her away," added the 57-year-old. Tamra gets backlash for her involvement in the RHUGT scandal. A clip of Tamra's comment has been making the rounds online, and now she's getting dragged for inserting herself in the drama. Tamra speaking on something that has nothing to do with her yet again, one commenter exclaimed. "Crazy how she waited until the Bravo fanbase turned on her before speaking up, in defense of Caroline against one of Bravo's other most loathed HOVs. #deflection, added someone else. An Instagram user said, "So you're telling me Tamra, of all people, sat on this info for 2 years? I'm not buying it." Another noted, "She's not trying to defend Caroline, she's trying to go after Vicki." Speaking of Vicki, Tamra's recent remarks were in response to what the RHUGT alum said about Caroline on My Friend, My Soulmate, My podcast. She has some explaining to do to her husband if that does air, and him seeing that she was not pushing back at all, shared Vicki. And the truth will come out if the show airs. The stage was set for another season of Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip, RHUGT, and fans were buzzing with anticipation. This season the spotlight was on Brandi Glanville, the queen of unapologetic chaos, and her signature brand of jaw-dropping shade. But it wasn't long before Tamra Judge, always ready for a little confrontation, found herself smack dab in the middle of the drama, much to the chagrin of viewers and even some of her castmates. The drama started off innocently enough. Brandi, true to form, had stirred up a whirlwind of tension among the housewives. Her razor-sharp tongue, combined with her knack for digging up buried emotions, had the group in a state of constant tension. But when Tamra Judge decided to swoop in and insert herself into the crossfire, fans were quick to notice, and not everyone was impressed. During an evening gathering, tensions began bubbling over between Brandi and a few of the other housewives. Brandi had taken issue with some not-so-subtle comments, and the conversation quickly turned heated. Wine glasses clinked, eyes narrowed, and voices rose. Tamra, never one to miss an opportunity for a well-timed entrance, decided this was her moment to chime in. She positioned herself as the voice of reason, stepping in as a mediator to bring peace to the table. But peace was hardly what she brought. With a raised hand and her best stern mom look, Tamra interrupted the fray. "Ladies, can we all just take a moment to breathe?" she asked, looking pointedly at Brandi, who was mid-eye roll. But as Tamra tried to step in as the neutral voice of reason, she inadvertently put herself at the center of the conflict. Her attempts to mediate soon became thinly veiled critiques of Brandi's behavior, escalating the situation even further. "Oh, please, Tamra," Brandi shot back, folding her arms defiantly. "Last I checked, you're not exactly known for your calm, rational demeanor. Let's not pretend you're here to help." Tamra blinked, momentarily thrown off balance by the quick retort. She opened her mouth, searching for a witty comeback, but Brandi was already 2 steps ahead, listing off instances when Tamra herself had stirred up her fair share of chaos on the Real Housewives of Orange County. It wasn't long before Tamra was defending her own actions instead of diffusing the current conflict, and the entire conversation turned into a Tamra versus Brandi showdown. As the tension built, viewers at home were glued to their screens, but many weren't thrilled with Tamra's approach. Twitter was ablaze with comments from fans who felt Tamra's involvement was more about keeping herself relevant than genuinely trying to help the group. Typical Tamra, one viewer tweeted. Always ready to throw herself into drama that doesn't concern her, and then act like she's the one being attacked. Others pointed out that her intervention seemed calculated, almost as if she had anticipated Brandi's reaction, and was ready to use it to create a storyline. She's a seasoned housewife. She knows how this game works, another viewer noted. Tamra saw the opportunity for a moment and jumped right in. She knows how to stay relevant. Back at the vacation villa, tensions continued to rise. As the night wore on, Tamra's attempts at mediation had turned into a full-on clash with Brandi, leaving the other housewives feeling caught in the middle. At one point, Porsha Williams, who had been watching the chaos unfold from the sidelines, finally stepped in, trying to redirect the energy. "Ladies, seriously," Porsha said, holding up her hands to separate them. "We're supposed to be on vacation. Can we all just chill out and enjoy this beautiful place?" But Tamra was too deep into the argument to back down. "Brandi can't just bulldoze everyone and expect us to sit here and take it," Tamra replied, her voice tinged with frustration. "Someone has to say something." "And you think that's you?" Brandi scoffed, not missing a beat. "You're always so quick to be the peacemaker, but you're just stirring the pot." The confrontation had reached a boiling point, and Tamra found herself facing backlash not only from Brandi, but also from the other women. There was an unspoken agreement among them that while Brandi's behavior could be abrasive, Tamra's intervention had only added fuel to the fire. The next morning, Tamra awoke to a villa full of housewives, giving her the cold shoulder. She tried to join the group at breakfast, but there was a palpable tension in the air. They all seemed to exchange knowing glances whenever she spoke, and it became clear that her attempt to mediate had not only backfired, but had also isolated her from the group. In her confessional, Tamra defended her actions, saying, "I'm not going to sit back and watch Brandi steamroll everyone. I didn't come on this trip to play it safe, and if I'm the bad guy for calling her out, so be it." But even in her own words, there was a hint of frustration, a sense that maybe this time she had bitten off more than she could chew. Fans, meanwhile, were relentless in their criticism. Online, hashtags like #TamraThinstigator and #NoDroDramaTamra began trending as viewers expressed their disapproval. Many felt that Tamra had crossed a line by trying to shift the spotlight onto herself, and they weren't buying her peacemaker angle. "It's one thing to step in when someone needs it," one Instagram user commented. "It's another thing to make someone else's drama all about you. We see right through it, Tamra." As the trip progressed, Tamra found herself increasingly on the defensive, caught between her desire to stay relevant and the backlash from her castmates. Every attempt to smooth things over seemed to fall flat, and she began to realize that her mediator role wasn't winning her any allies. By the end of the season, she had become a polarizing figure, her intentions questioned and her actions scrutinized by fans and housewives alike. The fallout from her involvement with Brandi's drama became a defining moment for Tamra, and it remained a topic of debate long after the trip had ended. Had she genuinely been trying to help, or was this simply a calculated move to stay in the spotlight? For some viewers, Tamra's intentions would forever remain suspect, a sign that the once beloved OC housewife had perhaps taken her hunger for screen time a step too far. In the world of housewives, though, nothing is ever truly over. As fans waited to see how Tamra would address the backlash, one thing was certain: whether she was loved or hated, she would always be a force to be reckoned with, and for Tamra, that was just the way she liked it.